Chris, how is your pee break?
My pee break?
They might flash you undetected.
Random baby.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Quite an intro.
Let's address the elephant in the room. That's not the elephant in the room. There's no elephant. Nobody cares.
I, too, am a thought criminal.
Good. Well, I like you already.
Does this look like a girl who's joking around?
No.
Messing around?
But how much do you actually understand money? Especially the new wave.
Beauty or intelligence? When you unleash both, it is men's kryptonite. Welcome to Talk to Me, Taylor. Hi, everybody. I have the best news for you. I am here to rescue you, okay, from the grifting purgatory nightmare of Candace Owens with Erica Kirk. Is that not the I know. I couldn't be more excited to be here because I just took a couple housekeeping things because I have very exciting guests tonight. I don't have the words, which says something, coming from me, to quite describe how disgusting and sick I think those antics are just on a human level. And so I have such great news because, like I said, I'm here to give your eyeballs and your feeds, for the love of God, something different, a breath of fresh air, something inspiring. And it's sort of like a double whammy because there's a part of me, and I know when there, a lot of the times I'm like, it's a no for me, dog. Like, I'm gonna sit this one out. You guys all can deal with that there. Let me know how that goes. But there are times like this where things going on that are trending, or very much, in the news cycle, give me like a visceral reaction. And this is one of those times. However, as you guys know, I often grapple with, do I want to give this thing, this topic, this person more life and more energy? And, you can bet your bottom dollar that I am not going to participate and give Candace Owens one more click. Or view. So I'm here to provide the goods tonight. And like I said, I have a really fun and thought-provoking sit down with comedy legend Wanda Sykes and director Tamika Miller, because they joined forces in what is Wanda's pretty much first dramatic acting role, which is such a departure given that she's, again, a comedy icon. And I want to address this as well, perhaps an elephant in the room before I stop talking, I shut up and show you guys the interview. Hang on one second. I'm getting a call from Rob. Hi, I'm on my show. Can you not hear me? Okay, so I'm live and you're live, but you're not on speaker. So I'll leave it up for everybody to interpretation, all the naughty things or not you're saying to me on air. Okay, Rob Nelson, roger that. Everybody, greetings and regards from Rob. Mid show, 5 minutes in, we love it. And yes, so in posting, teasing up and previewing this interview with Wanda, I actually got a DM from a long time and pretty loyal follower. And it really struck me. And I don't want to throw this person under the bus, but I thought it was really interesting because, I'm promoting, Wanda's coming on the show. And Wanda, by the way, is very, anti-Trump, has called Trump, in and out of in her comedy acts, all the things, all the ists and the misogynist and racist and phobic, all the things, right? And this person said to me, wow, like having them on your show despite, left-leaning politics or whatever it is. And so, first of all, let me just say here and now, I have absolutely no obligation or alliance to Don Jr. or any of the Dons. Further, I apologize if I ever gave that impression that I only interview a certain person, right? The whole point of the show is to bring these different people, across entertainment, business, tech, politics into the fold and get to know them as humans and to make things make sense. And that is the problem, right? Of this culture. In, first of all, like the combative, whether it's on podcasts or, mainstream now, like, just all of that, which is really tired, but also how all of these figures have become such a caricature. And to really break through that facade and see, who they are, what they really think, how we can find the human, and as if we're all sitting back. If you're a psycho like me, you want to talk about true psycho. I don't know. I may be giving Candace a run for her money, drinking coffee at 6 p.m. on a Thursday night, but yeah, like we're all sitting back and having a drink, right? And get to see what they, where we may see eye to eye. And so, like I said, and I'm not, gaslighting everybody. I know for a fact that I'm not here to be a Candace Owens, like, oh wow, well, could you possibly mean? Like, no, come on, we have all more brain cells and wherewithal than that. So I know definitely on the show I've had historically more, conservative or right leaning, and perhaps that is because very much obviously what I do is like anti hardcore woke or cancel culture, censorship, politically correct. So these people kind of gravitate and want to talk, but I'll have you know, I put invites out to everybody. So I just wanted to address that. And I think that this was a perfect night to do that and to really kind of tee you up for this talk tonight, because again, with that, it is what we talk about are things that are so relevant and maybe that people aren't really talking about out loud, right? We talk about breaking out of said boxes, especially for her, such a high profile entertainer. We talk about real grit and instant gratification culture, and is discipline a lost art and all that. We even talk about, you'll see in the interview, because it's kind of mirrors the story and her character, yeah, you'll see. But the kind of the dark side of all of us, and like, we don't see on our highlight reels of social media, but like being our own worst enemy at times. And I think a lot of you guys will appreciate it. Because I know you say this, on and offline, this whole idea, and the story, she and the director, they talk about, how this project took a decade, like Gen Z is foaming at the mouth and they could never, right? Give 10 years, never mind 10 minutes to see how many views they get. So they talk about that and ushering it in. And again, like the real grit and sacrifice it takes, because her character, and I allude to it a little bit in the interview, but basically she plays this, Wanda plays this boxing icon who kind of has a fall from grace, and she has, issues with, different addictions and an estranged son. And it's really kind of like her redemption arc, right? And talking about like being the best in life, in a sport, all this, which I thought all of you could appreciate, and which is very real and, very human and grounded, I think, and sort of inspiring in this time. And so see, like we can all, come together on this issue, come to take that as you will. And without further ado, I've yapped here quite enough tonight. Enjoy this interview with Wanda Sykes and Tamika Miller. And because I go raw dog style, I didn't do any editing. This is just the raw file. So you'll see we were having a little bit of small talk. And I was asking them about their press junket day, how long they'd been at it, if they were, tired, and how they were when they got started and all this. So you'll see, because it kind of starts in the middle of nowhere, and you'll be like, where did you just drop me into the Bermuda Triangle of the Hollywood junket? So without further ado, enjoy and be good, you crazy cats. This weekend, I'll see you all on Monday. All right. Enjoy.
Been at it a while.
Are you tired?
No.
No, the work never stops. Cool. Well, ladies, welcome to my domain. Wanda Sykes, Tamika Miller, undercard. You guys will appreciate this. I was just in the gym before this, so I don't know. Maybe we just all do in the honor of boxing. Like we just all do a little. Oh, okay. Right. Don't hurt them.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I'm excited, and I know that Wanda, everybody and their moms and their moms are going to be asking you about this first exciting departure from comedy. But I have to tell you, the first scene was so believable because you're like there, like, coaching the whole thing. And I'm watching, I'm like, there is something about the lesbian energy that you do not want to fuck around and find out. Like, it is just right. So, I mean, what is it about? Is that a little bit in real life? Or because there's something like timeless about that. Just don't mess with me energy.
Well, I mean, that's the character, right? She's no mercy.
She's no
Uh,
mercy.
yeah, she's a two-time champion, so she's comfortable in that space. You know, that the gym is the boxing gym
Yeah.
is her home. Um, and yeah, you have to have all of that if you're gonna be a champion. So yeah, and I trained. I trained for the film. I prepared myself
Yeah.
to be comfortable in that, in that environment.
Well, it was kudos to obviously Tamika, the writing, directing, and Wanda, your performance. And like I said, there's some immediately, like I said, first scene, I was like, so believable. Like this woman could take, I am not fucking with this woman in or out of the ring. Like she could take me, she could take me out. Um, my whole show is really about breaking out of the boxes. I mean, my motto is tits out, brain out, right? Because society always wants us to be one thing and to pigeonhole us and our identity. So I'm curious for you, Wanda, and for you, Tamika, if these were ever kind of conversations going into this project, if stepping out of what you're so well known for, comedy, into a dramatic role, if you had to kind of seek that permission to break out of that box internally with yourself, like if you had any inner critic or judgment, or if you wondered like if audiences would be receptive to you breaking out of that box, like walk me through that process, if that was ever, an inner or outer dialogue with you too.
For me, yeah, of course. I mean, it's daunting to uh step outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And again, I had to think about my audience. Like, do they want to see me step outside of this, outside of the comedy world? Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's also, can I pull this off? Um, I respected the material so much, and I love the story that if I didn't think I could do it, I would it was like, look, if there's someone else out there who could do this and you know, to be better for the film, then that's how, by all means, because that's how actually we did get to one point where they were ready to go with the film, but I couldn't. I was tied up in something else, another
Okay.
production, and
Okay.
to me, yeah, and Tamika was like, "No, no, no, it's this is for you."
Really? So, Tamika,
Yeah.
how about for you in that process again? Were you wondering, even on, from your vantage point behind the camera, was that even going on in your mind? Like, how are audiences going to react to this huge, jump for Wanda? And how do we incorporate that? Or did you have blinders, and were you, like, be honest? Or were you a little bit like, even like Wanda's admitting here, like, no, I definitely had the inner, birdie on my shoulder going, will they accept this? You know?
Wanda, no, there was no inner voice, no saying otherwise. Wanda is beloved. I mean, just real talk, and what I knew to be true is that because she's beloved, her audience would likely go on this journey, and what Wanda and I had to do was uh, stay true to the vision, and pull it off, as Wanda just said. But I never doubted that we can do that. I always knew we could do that and that we would do it. And so I feel really fortunate because Wanda comes to this role with so much history as a creative, as a writer, as a comedian, as a mother, and so all of those things are informing her as an actor in this role. And so for me, there was never a doubt. I didn't feel
Mhm.
nervous. and there was that one time, where Juan was like, if you want to go with another actress, I'll bow out. And I was like,
I'll
don't you
come to
go
set it
nowhere.
supervised though. Oh
Like
yeah,
you're
you're
not
like, oh no,
going
you're locked
anywhere.
in. You're locked in. Wanda, what ultimately gave you that permission to just be like, screw it? Like, I'm gonna go for it. And was it quick? Was it pretty immediate? Or, walk me through a little bit about giving yourself permission to break out of that box and do this.
I I didn't really have once I said, yeah, okay, let's try it, because Tamika was so convincing that,
Mhm.
look, trust. It was like trust. She was like, trust me, you're gonna be great. Look, we'll get there. Just trust me. Uh, and when I said, you know what, okay, let's try it, then she's like, okay, meet me at Wildcard Gym Saturday morning. And I'm like, we haven't signed, there's no paperwork. We haven't talked to my agent.
No handshake
Yeah,
yet. No, no.
there's nothing going on. There's nothing official. And now she wants me to go to Wild Card Gym and throw me in the ring and punch me in the face. Uh, but I started training and preparing for this role.
Mhm. That's awesome. That's awesome. And you're right. I mean, your character is no mercy. And I love the journey of, I'm going to be honest with you guys. It feels like discipline and grit can be such a lost art these days, right? We have, instant gratification with social media. We have, participation trophy culture. So, do you guys think it's a lost art? And maybe in your own respective careers, talk about, like, I love it. In your character even says, like, do you want to be the best? And being the best in what you guys do, and the real grit that it takes. um Talk about that. And is it a lost art?
Tamika, you want to go first?
My entire career has been about just determination, I mean, I I didn't come to Hollywood to be a writer. I started to write because I had to, because I wanted to see certain stories told. I wanted to see myself reflected back to me on screen. And I was like, I have to write it because it does not exist. And so here we are, in a script that I, co-wrote with my writing partner, Anita Cal, two Black women, having written a script starring a Black woman, is it's been a journey. I'm grateful that we're here, and it's been 10 years in the making. So I know something about grit.
What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
10?
real talk.
Oh my God, Tamika, report it to the Gen Zers because they want 10 years work in 5 minutes on Instagram. What do you mean? You're breaking brains. No, what? I'm a millennial, so I'm a little bit off the hook, but 10
Okay.
years?
Yeah. 10 years,
Wow.
10 years in the making, so
Wow,
we know
wow.
something about grit, you
Yeah.
know.
And you know what they say? If you want something done, do it yourself. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and Wanda, how about you? And again, becoming the so iconic and the best at what you do. And let's be real, such a cutthroat atmosphere of entertainment, comedy, all of it, and really being the best.
Well, I agree with you that I'm not gonna say it's a lost art, but they're just like you said, there's just so many other avenues for you to go to get that instant gratification with social media and all. Like you can post a funny video, and now you're the greatest thing in comedy, and you're selling out comedy clubs off of a little clip.
No,
But and
word,
it's
no
like,
lie.
yeah, like I've driven my like clubs like, well, who the hell is here tonight? It's all sold out. Never heard a person say, oh yeah, they did something funny on social media. But once that clip is that's over, and you're not coming up with any more funny, more funny clips or whatever, then
Hmm.
it's like, what do you do? The way I grew up is it's hard work. You go to the comedy clubs, you get on stage, you work out your material, you write some new material. It is hard work. You got to work at it,
Hmm.
but that's where longevity happens, and I think grit, discipline, those are the things that that have legs, they stick around. Those are great things to be able to depend on.
So I agree. Let's, put the context, even, the journey of your character, right? And obviously we see her like fall from grace and redemption arc. I'm not giving anything away. And the grit that you're talking about, right? And putting it up against what you two both do in real life, and even what you're talking about, Wanda, like the shape-shifting nature of it, of how now someone can go viral and it's like, what? Like the math is a bad thing. I have, and I've said the same thing as you, right? And I have many times I've grappled with this going, okay, am I just a traditionalist grandma? Because I've always thought like doing it the right way is putting in the work and years of tenacity and grit and resilience, like you guys are talking about. Whereas people now will go, well, if you can do it like this, and the gatekeepers, right, are, it's so different than how it was, when you first started. If you can do it faster, well then why are you being a hater, basically? So where do you both fall in that, especially when it comes to, what you do, seeing this character's journey, and also, like I said, putting it in the backdrop of like against the backdrop of what you do in real life and entertainment.
Hmm.
Mika, you want to go first?
Look, I wish it would not have taken as long, right? But look, the things everything in this, divine time,
Right.
um, would I have loved to, have directed, I don't know, Black Panther at age 28 or 30, like Ryan Coogler? Sure, yes, that would have been great.
Yeah. Right.
Of course,
Yeah.
but that wasn't my journey, and so my journey as a storyteller, started with short films and commercials and now television and film and feature films, and and I think as a storyteller and as a director, I'm stronger for the journey.
Yeah,
I'm
that's so true.
yeah.
I just met you, Ching. I'm like, that is so true about you. No, but I mean, let me tell you
That
from
is
all the
so
years
true. Yeah.
knowing you. Yeah. Yeah. And Wanda, how about you? Is it again, is it like what do you grandmas mean, all three of you? Like, why are you doing it? What do you mean do it the hard way, the longer way? Like, why not just make it easier and faster?
I just believe that like Tamika said, like your journey is your journey.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
And
fair.
I'm if you can get there ahead of me, hey, good for you. I'm not hating on you at all, but I just know what works for me
Yeah,
is
that's
the
fair.
is the hard work and the dedication and you know
That's
sticking with.
fair. I like that. Very abundant mindset of like everyone on their own journey. I'm like, but if you're in my way, I'll poison your tea. No, I'm just kidding. So okay, lastly, because I've been given the 2-minute warning here. Again, this really follows, but I also feel like, again, with the highlight reels of social media, all this, people don't show, right? But that true, like a fallen warrior and the redemption, and, honestly, like being our own worst enemies sometimes, like in our own minds, right? Getting in our own way. So if either of you, would care to share, real life, a version from your own life that, where you experienced that yourself and pulled from that experience.
Wow. I mean, not to get into everything, but no, but there's moments where you beat yourself up for something,
Mhm.
and what good does it do? It really is it's a hindrance. You
Especially
have
in
to,
this business, like
yeah, you got to give
yeah,
yourself grace. You have to let it go,
yeah,
and each day just try to be better.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I second that. I mean, I mean, determination is something I've always had, and when something didn't go exactly how I hoped, I keep it moving. You know what I mean? I take the lesson, my mantra for years has always been, I'm going to throw it against the wall and see if it sticks.
Okay.
I just have to try. And that actually has opened up quite a bit of doors. Just trying, just saying yes.
Well, you know what they say, you miss all shots you don't take, right? So,
Right.
so I love that. Well,
Yeah.
ladies, I'll let you go. You're welcome back here anytime. Congratulations. And
Yeah.
seriously, Wanda, I'm
Thank
not saying
you.
this to brown nose you. Like, I was so impressed. I mean, again, I don't want to give it away, but like the range and crying and all this. So, you know, you should be proud. And yeah, like I said, you're welcome back anytime. And next time I'll explain boobs out, brain out a little further. So, because I saw you're like, I'm sorry, what? Women
I was
being
like-
all
I was
women
like, wait,
being.
I gotta take my boobs out. What? Nobody told me about
Wait,
this.
it starts with biceps out.
62-year-old boobs. Like, what are we doing?
I do. We start with biceps out and end with boobs out, you know, but proving that, you know, similarly to this and what you're doing here in this role, it's like we're not constricted to one thing. We can be many things. And that's what's so great about, you know, being women and in our power. So awesome. Well, ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
Taylor.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Great to talk to you.
You as well. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chris, how was your pee break?
My pee break.
They might flash you on the tip.
Random baby.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Quite an intro.
Let's address the elephant in the room. That's not the elephant in the room. There's no elephant. Nobody cares.
I too am a thought criminal. Good. Well, I like you already.
Does this look like a girl who's joking around?
No.
messing around?
But how much do you actually understand money, especially the new wave?
Beauty or intelligence? When you unleash both, it is men's kryptonite.